But this is America in shutdown, day 22. It was just a few weeks ago that we were hearing very scary numbers like these.
The number was 2.2 million people would have died. 2.2 million people would have died in a short period of time.
As you saw on that slide, that was our real number, that 100,000 to 200,000. And we think that that is the range.
Dr. Fauci, should Americans be prepared for the likelihood that there will be 100,000 Americans who die from this virus?
The answer is yes. We need, as sobering a number as that is, we should be prepared for it.
But now it looks like those projections, which drove the experts to recommend an aggressive economic shutdown of America, were wildly off base.
The head of the Centers for Disease Control now says U.S. coronavirus deaths could be, in his words, much lower than the 100,000 or 240,000 predicted by some earlier models.
Every model is only as good as the assumptions that go into it. Originally, the assumptions were that fewer Americans would keep their distance.
But you all behaved, so things are better. Now, understand what we're talking about here. The final death count today is projected to be about 80,000 people. In other words, 30 times fewer than the high end of what was originally forecast, that 2.2 million figure, and 3 times fewer than the 240,000 number. Now, we know that our country is still experiencing excruciating loss of life, and we believe, as we've said every night, that every life is precious, every death matters to every family due to whatever cause. But it is worth asking, is it not, what would our response have been, and would our response have been less damaging to the economy and to the lives of all of you, millions of Americans, if we had had more accurate models from the start? And shouldn't this experience make us less willing to rely on the same experts to help determine when and how we should reopen our economy? Meanwhile, in Europe, the leaders of Norway, Denmark, Czech Republic, and Austria have announced plans to relax coronavirus lockdown restrictions. Norway will end its ban on families traveling to their holiday cottages on April 20th. Other businesses will be allowed to reopen then, too. Denmark, well, they'll press ahead with a cautious reopening, beginning with daycare and primary schools on April 15th, and talks are underway to get their businesses up and running again as well. And more good news from Germany, which has the 3rd largest outbreak in Europe. They saw the number of daily recoveries outnumber new COVID cases for the first time on Tuesday. Check out their new infections curve, looking much better. But in France, the government there has decided to take away the one thing people had left to keep them, frankly, sane by deciding to ban outdoor daytime exercise. Now, that seems totally nuts to me. I'm not an expert in these things, but exercise has so many health benefits that would seem to outweigh the risk that you're going to get coronavirus when you run or bike past someone on a trail. Although, thinking about it, I don't know, the physical exertion, even indoors, can pose its own challenges.
Ready, go!
And finally, you feel it, don't you, that America is getting increasingly anxious about this shutdown. And given the fact that the death rate for COVID-19 may end up being only slightly worse than a very tough flu season, we want answers. We want objective metrics for restarting things.
Back to this idea of reopening up the economy, since it's not like there's a switch that you can just turn it back on, how does the administration envision this happening?
Our first mission is to save lives. But there is a dual track that the president has already initiated. Some of the best minds here at the White House are beginning to think about what recommendations will look like that we give to businesses, that we give to states.
Well, a little vague, but what about parents and their children? Are they ever going to go back to school?
What do you think summer camp holds, and what do you think the start of next school year holds?
It is unpredictable, but you can get a feel for if we start talking about the things where the curve goes down and we really have minimal, how we respond and what kind of a rebound we see or don't see.
You know what else is going like this? retention of information, kids learning. That's what a lot of parents, you're emailing me, and thank you, keep the emails coming. But those answers are murky, right? They don't give you a sense of, okay, what are we looking at here? Remember, as much as we respect and admire all those who are on the front lines of our healthcare system, especially doctors, nurses, all the staff, we didn't vote for doctors. We didn't vote for modelers or statisticians, as brilliant as many of them can be. We voted for political leadership that sees the big picture. That means the whole picture of America. Because we all know, we walk out the front door, life entails risks. The vulnerable need protection, especially the elderly and those with underlying conditions. And yet at the same time, freedom needs preserving. We just cannot have our people denied the ability to make a living, go to school, attend worship services, travel as they wish, see their friends. We need realistic, objective metrics. We need clear protocols to give people peace of mind once we do restart our economy and reopen again. We want people to go back to restaurants and so forth. We want those businesses to not just survive, but thrive again. Otherwise, we risk creating a new epidemic, one of continuing mass unemployment, depression, societal fallouts, even the medical experts today still can't foresee. And those are my thoughts at the end of day 22, America in shutdown.